All right. So Anthony, you're like, looking for like agreed to hop on a longer chat to possibly look for help, adding more volume of mortgage specific conversation to possibly add more loans, make more commissions, all this stuff, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess like on the call itself with Nikhil, what caught your attention specifically that made you agree to hop on a longer chat with us?
I mean, honestly, there wasn't anything specific, like it was just, it sounded like possibly a different angle, a
Hmm.
different approach to this. And so that's the only thing that would probably be the one thing.
Different approach as in how do you mean by that?
How to in capturing in like capturing you know potential buyers, potential people out there rather than just traditional lead gen.
Traditional as in like you relying on referrals, stuff like that, or
That's my normal business. That's what I don't really like. The only other lead type of things I've ever used was Zillow, like, but that was years ago.
I mean, how was the experience? Because anyone I speak with says that Zillow was like, it was shared with 20 other people and stuff like that.
No, that wasn't the case actually. These were like exclusive leads, and they actually filled out like it was better than the other, like what you're referring to. It was a
Hmm.
little more expensive, but they actually had to log in, fill out like a answer like a it was like 8 to 10 questions,
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it was like it required more diligence on the side of that person,
Hmm.
the potential lead.
Yeah.
And then all that information came over to me, and sometimes it was a live transfer call. So it was good, but there's still just I didn't feel like the people were really truly ready. It was more like just soft kind of inquiries, that kind of thing.
Still looking for like, still shopping around kind of.
Yeah, or just not necessarily ready to buy. The conversion was challenging, and I think that also you just have to. I mean, I'm just a small shop, so
Mhm.
those. I mean, if you're gonna do stuff like that, I think it can be effective, but you have to really have a system, people on phones, people on call, like just constantly,
Okay, so
that
right
type
now
of thing.
it's yeah, so it's right now you're just doing it all by yourself, so you had to
Yeah,
handle
I'm an
everything.
independent broker. I have my own brokerage, so it's a smaller operation. There's just a couple of us.
Okay, get it. So I guess like with the way that you're relying on right now, I guess what do you think is missing, or if you can like think of anything that you would like to kind of improve with the way it's set up right now? What would
The
that?
way the business is set up.
Yeah, like the way that you are generating applications, how the flow
Well, I'm
is.
generating applications from 100% referrals and past clients,
Yeah, so if you could
and that's
improve,
it.
yeah, anything that you feel like could be improved in that realm.
Um, you know, I mean, the problem is, it's primarily there's not the market's just tough. I mean, the interest rates are up, so there's no refinance market, and
Mm.
then inventory is still low, prices are high, rates are high, and there's just not a lot of volume, not a lot of activity right now. So that's the major problem, and that's something that it's it's beyond any of our, um, it's out of all of our hands, that part of it, But there is still business being done.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I want to focus on because I do speak with a lot of people, right, in the industry regularly, and a lot of people, everyone has the same problem, right? Last 2 years is not
Sure.
not positive.
Yeah.
So, but even then, like there are people doing more, and there are doing people doing less. So, what do you
Sure.
think is like what are they doing specifically that you are not doing, so to say, if you can really
Um,
talk about
yeah, I don't know, I don't know
if you really
exactly
think
what
about it though.
everybody else is doing. It's just just probably I don't know if they're just more active or just the clients that they're working with are just, like some months it's like, yeah, three or four or five, want to go into escrow.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just a longer sales cycle. So I had one client I just closed yesterday, but he fell in and out of escrow two different times. So it's been ongoing for 4 or 5 months. So it's
Hmm.
just it's tough. I would like to capture, More people up front.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a broker, so I can do the real estate and the mortgage side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could capture that and not rely on a realtor to send me business, that's something
So more like,
that's of interest.
yeah, so more like, self-generation instead of relying on other people.
Correct.
Okay. I guess like with the way that it's set up right now, relying on referrals entirely on a typical month, like how many loans are you able to get to?
I mean, right now,
Yeah, an
you
average, yeah,
know,
right now.
3 to 5 right now. Before you're probably looking at like 10, so it's at less than half,
Before, as in like how
when
long?
business was better, like before the last 2 years.
Okay.
So so either it's like you cast a wider net or you dig in deeper with, the a smaller group or get a better group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now with the if you could like a realistic number, right? With the number of loans that you're ideally targeting right now, that if I could book in my maximum my calendar was booked and stuff, and I was doing my maximum capacity, how many loans realistically are you gonna be targeting?
Like if I mean, bare minimum, if I could do, like 5 to 10 loans a month, it would be significant increase, like for this time. I mean, at that point I would need to bring back outsourced processing again and bring an assistant back on. So like that's where I'm just kind of like not quite back at that point yet. And so I
Okay.
just process this stuff myself because it's relatively easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 to 4 to 5. When I go above that, then I would need to outsource processing again with the processing company I've used and stuff like that. So,
So it's
but
kind of like you're doing four a month right now, and you kind of like want to double if that is possible.
double, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I
we're
mean, it's
talking about like
feasible.
yeah, four a month to like kind of eight a month at least.
8 to 10 a month would be good.
And with the way that you're doing right now, like what do you think is the challenge going to that number? Of course, the market is like it's external, but there's still
Just
people doing that.
capturing, just capturing the people and just having more opportunities.
Okay, and you feel like in the referral side of things that is missing, like you can't really.
It's missing, but I need to um I need to press into it a little bit more as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, if the whole goal is to, you know, if I could find a way to not ever rely on those types of people, it would be ideal.
So not to even like focus, like anything comes from referrals, that's a bonus. That's the ideal situation that you want to go into.
That would be ideal. Yeah, it's just bonus. And then because if I capture people that are looking to buy a house, we can represent them on the real estate side and the mortgage side, where a lot of people can't do that. A lot of mortgage guys can only represent them on the mortgage, and a
Yeah.
lot of real estate people can only real estate represent them on the real estate side, and they have to refer the loan to a mortgage broker. So
So for you, I guess like you said that you are like two people are taking care of the operation. So you are inside in the mortgage side and your colleague is on the real estate side, or did I get it wrong?
no, I can do both.
Okay.
I can do
Oh.
both myself personally. And so the way our licensing set up, we're licensed with.
Mhm.
So if you're licensed with me, you have to have a real estate salesperson license. Otherwise it's a different license with the Department of Corporations. So for us, they could all technically do both. So if we got a lead in, I could, like, for example, we have one.
Okay, I
So
get it.
we can capture all of that and not even have to
So only
refer
the
that out to a
uh-huh.
realtor.
So it's only the generation side that's the missing point right now. So I guess
Yeah.
like with like the way it's set up right now, you having to rely on referrals, referral partners, realtor referrals and stuff like that. And Like you're not having that source to consistently generate that predictable amount of like consistent leads coming in. I mean,
Consistency, right?
yeah. So I guess like, what is that like? How does that, because I run my business, I don't want to assume, right? So how does that impact on the day-to-day of the business side?
How does what impact?
Like you not having that flow coming in consistently. Of course, you're not
I
doing
mean,
four
it's
more
just
loans, but on the business operations side, is there any ramification specific to that?
not necessarily. I mean, there are ramifications. I mean, there's still a lease, there's still expenses, there's still things that go out. Yeah, but I keep things pretty light, you know. I didn't start in the hire and take on a bunch of expenses. That's why I've always outsourced processing, outsourced compliance, you know,
Mm,
that kind of stuff. Rather than hiring somebody in house, you know.
okay. So
We need to like I would need to have hire more people and the company be doing probably like 15 to 20 before to hire somebody like full-time in-house, you know.
okay, so only if you can hit that level, that's when you'll be like, oh, you know what, right now I think it's a good time for me to get in-house help.
Bring in-house help, yeah. But right now I keep everything pretty light.
So there's like not much of an impact, so to say, on the business side
No,
operation.
it's just more of a personal income side,
So
you
I guess
know.
like personally, like how does it impact you, like the person in charge of it personally? You not having these things in place.
I mean it doesn't impact. It's just there's either you've got business you're doing business or you're not, you know. I mean, obviously, if you're not doing business, you're not making money. So it's just kind of like it's instead of being consistent, it's just like, you know, a good month and then a not good month and a good month and a not good month, you know, that kind of thing.
Because yeah, because the reason I'm trying to understand this one is because there was kind of my backstory, right? When I was doing like I started learning these things like online acquisition, lead gen, and copywriting and stuff in 2021. And that's the only
Mm-hmm.
one when I started to make some online, revenue for myself. That's like the first business. So,
Mm-hmm.
there was a time for like 6 months time when I was like doing pretty good, not
Mm-hmm.
fulfillment level, but that
Yeah.
there was a guy who I was working with, and then he became a father. I gave him a commitment. There was like things going on the family side as well. So yeah, when you look back on, of course, like money is just a vehicle, right? So you're not making that money. The impact is not on the personal level, like me. It's more like the commitments I'm missing out on, the time that I'm not able to spend with my family and stuff like that. So for you personally, like I'm trying to understand, you not having that thing in place right now, and you having to rely on external sources. How does that personally affect you, if there is anything?
I mean, I fortunately have been able to maintain like in my case, it's probably more. I coach all my kids' sports. Very involved in their lives, and I'll help at the school. I'll do things like that. So I've been able to, you know, kind of maintain that type
Mhm.
of lifestyle, and so I'm probably guilty of focusing a little more on that and a little less on business.
So if more like if you could have more, then it would be much easier for you to spend more time with the family.
Well, I spend a lot of time with them, but you know, it would obviously, you know, there's other things we could do.
Okay, okay, get it. All right. So I guess so in the number side of things, right? What is the average commission that you make per loan?
Um, I would say average commission with the loan amounts that we have here would be somewhat around, yeah,
One.
one loan, yeah.
Okay. You're doing 4 loans right now on average. That's like kind of we're talking about in
hmm
commissions coming in.
hmm
And so you kind of like wanting to
But then
double.
there's some months where there's like it didn't used to be like that, but then there's some months where it's a 1 month or 2 month lag and there's no closings, you know, but there's stuff in the pipeline, but it's just not closing, you know.
So
So it kind of averages out.
so average, like on the monthly average, if you can look back on the last 3 months, right? So on a monthly average, are we doing 4 loans a month right now, or are we doing like more like two, three kind of stuff?
It's probably on average more like two to three, I would say, maybe
Two,
two.
lower end
Some
two.
zero, so like it just
Yeah, so
depends
it's
like
kind of two.
on the closing. Yeah,
Yeah. So we're doing right now like about 16K on average on a monthly basis. That's what we
I
are
would say
doing
so.
it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. 15, 16K. Let's say 15K ballpark. So right now you're trying to get to that, like at least like get to 5 loans. That's what you mentioned before. So we're trying to at least add 3 more loans consistently. So we not being able to get there, that's like we're talking about adding source of commissions added to the business right now. Is that
Yeah.
number right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess like you're not having this thing in places like you're not making like on a monthly basis. That's
No, it's
yeah.
not consistent.
That sounds like that's a lot of money to be left on the table, right?
It is
How long have you been in this, stuck in this situation? Like, the business is not doing good in the last 2 years, but
2 years. Yeah.
so all
Yeah.
2 years entirely was the same thing, same situation all throughout.
It's a little bit better this year. 23 was thinner,
Uh-huh.
And probably like second half of 22 and 23 and then here, so it's
So I
been
guess
it's been a it's been a couple of years.
so I guess like, before we started talking today, right? Before even my team reached out to you, like Nikhil reached out to you. I guess like what have you been trying to, do out there to possibly like add this volume and, kind of
Just
solve
looking
this.
at just looking at other finance, like I'm actually looking at doing some more like because the normal stuff that we do, it's easy, and
Mhm.
there just wasn't a lot of business done. So we've been looking at, trying to do more second trust deeds, looking at some construction financing, things like that, just to kind of add on for long term. But day-to-day basis, I mean, I should be more proactive
Yeah, I
than I
mean,
am.
because it's like a lot of money left on the table, right? We're talking about like
Yeah.
adding 24K, and that's like three loans. I mean, there are plenty of options in the market available. So what exactly prevented you from, being proactive and getting those options added on top of what you're doing right now? Like, what prevented you to get like a professional help, so to say, to solve?
Um, there's not really very many like good credible sources with proven track record to so it's like what it is like spending those expenses and most of it's lead generation but it's like I said that it traditionally in this business has been better in a refi market
Mm-hmm.
when there's no refi market so that type of thing has been better there but my business has been always more heavily weighted on the purchase side of it rather than the refinance side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a lot less activity.
So I guess like, because yeah, refi does like because lead generation is lead gen, right? It's about like what is
Yeah.
your target. So what I'm trying to understand is like it has been 2 years now. You are still in this situation. What prevented you from getting like lead gen specific help, like possible outside help specific to lead gen to kind of
I
add?
mean, I don't have there's nobody that comes to mind that there's nothing credible, there's nothing like
It's
proven
like have you
that's
tried things in the past and that's or you
yeah.
heard someone that's why.
We've tried it in the past and it just hasn't been, you know, it's it just hasn't really worked, to be honest with you.
I mean, how do you mean like it did not work? Specifically, like I think you mentioned Zillow, right?
Yeah, like I said, like there's just nothing's ever really panned out on that lead gen side. I mean, the numbers are you have to have somebody that's just like that traditional lead gen. You have to have people that are there on the phones calling like immediately on the phone following up.
Yeah.
And with I have other normal business going on, that piece of it I can't keep up with. you
So you
know.
feel like the options that you've tried before was more like just generating the context and just basic pre-qualifying and then asking you to do all the heavy lifting. And that was the missing part that led you to not have good experience.
I would say like that's yeah, that's probably somewhat fair statement.
So I mean, well, I really have to ask this, right? Because this it has been like how long was that before you tried that? The last time you tried?
Oh, before I mean from 2020 to, during COVID, 2020 to like 2022, I
Uh-huh.
mean it was like business was really good, And so there was no need, and I wasn't set up to even I didn't need it, and I wasn't set up to take anything else on. I mean, I was working, all day, and then sometimes in the evening I'd go back to the office and get a couple work for another hour or two,
Mhm.
just to get set up for the next day. So there wasn't even a capacity at that point.
So I guess like
So it
the
was
Zillow thing when sorry to interrupt you. The like Zillow thing when did you last use that? Like when was the
probably like
experience?
2018,
So it's like four
2018,
6 years back we are talking about.
something like that. Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
like yeah, again, like I have to like the tough questions I have to ask, right? Because it has been like 2 years you are in this boat, right? It's not sailing properly. You are kind of stuck in a comfort zone. You're not doing bad. It's comfort zone.
Hmm.
You're doing good, right? But compared to what? Is it
Sure.
compared to where you want it to be, or is it compared to what everyone is doing around you?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
like, have you heard the saying that good is the enemy of great?
yes.
Yeah, good is comfortable, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, let's not have like a good conversation. Let's have a great conversation and try to
right.
make it at least push it there. So the question I would like to focus on is like it's like 6 years back that you tried that had something missing there. Plus, uh, in these last 2 years, you really did not try anything else on top of it. So what exactly made you not even look at options, at least like be proactive and then take that leap?
There's not good options out there. Nothing's come across my plate that was a good option.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Hmm.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, because I mean, who's when it's like we are in a situation specifically, who do you think should take the responsibility to proactively and search for options, like actively always be on the hunt to solve the problem that I'm facing? Are you okay with me asking that?
Yeah, no, it should be on me,
Yes,
for
I guess
sure.
like do you see like how you're not being proactive enough to because you haven't had even a single conversation. Have you had conversations like this before in this last?
No,
So I
not
guess
in not in the last 2 years now.
yeah, see the problem is like for 2 years and you not having do you see like how you're not having the proactiveness to look for options and having these conversations at least like 10 of them have led you to be in the situation that you are stuck in the comfort zone for two
Sure,
years. You're asking okay with me
sure.
saying that? I guess like what do you think has like that has cost you like in the 2 years, like eight almost 24 months?
What has cost me?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's cost me like financially, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, like overall, like in your life and financially, like you're not trying to look for options to add that more loan. What has
Yeah,
that
I mean
cost
it's
you? Like,
more been like survival mode. I mean, and a new life, and so there's a lot of shit that goes on
hmm.
outside of business.
Yeah. So I guess like you had to go through all these things and uh, if you could have already looked for things to add on top of it, then that would be much more easier what it was for you, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So I guess like, do you really think like this way of not being proactive and looking for things and relying on like external situations entirely, do you think that way of thinking and way of looking at business decisions is worth keeping though?
No, I mean definitely things
I
have to
mean,
have been changed, but you
yeah,
go through stuff
yeah,
in life where it's like you're more in survival mode,
yeah.
and you have to make sure that other things are, other things kind of come in the way, for
It's like
that
more,
time.
yeah, because the reason I'm asking is like because this is important, right? uh we there's a lot of things that's in the economy last 6 years. A lot of things has changed. AI is up here and there. There's a lot of things, shiny objects, and various ways to add these things on top of it. Try Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, a lot of options. But at the end of the day, if you don't be proactive and look for things and at least be in that hunt, then it would be very difficult for us to get that level added on top of it. Does it make sense?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, because I was actually talking to someone else like Tuesday, yesterday,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he had a similar situation like you, and he was like in this, like he had a Jan
Mm-hmm.
this year. It was like in this for 11 months, he's just doing comfortable, right? He's doing good enough. But then like he's saying me that, you know what, I'm stuck to my desk, and then I'm living on weekends only. There was no life was not like this. And that's not what I want to be. But at the end of the day, if we don't take the responsibility and go ahead, take that leap, then we will never be out of it.
Yeah,
That's
no, I agree.
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree with
because
that.
because what happens if you stay in the same position? Because if you keep, don't do anything, and then we don't try to make a leap, or try to add more volume on top of it, and still continues for the next 3 6 months, what happens then?
Yeah, yeah, it's not good. So, um, I'm are you there?
Yeah, yeah, my camera
Oh,
just
I lost you there.
gave up.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm really interested in this conversation. We're at 30 minutes.
yeah.
I've got to get some things done. What can we do
Can
tomorrow
we?
again at 11?
Yeah, same time. Can I reschedule
Same time.
for?
Yeah, that should work fine for me
I
tomorrow again.
will. Yeah, so because I really need to understand more before I can push you into anything. So what I'll be doing is 11 a.m. same time. I'll reschedule and then send you the confirmation similar to today, and we'll hop on
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was a nice conversation, Anthony. And I hope like you're
Good.
okay with me asking these questions, right?
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
because
fine with
yeah,
it.
that's fine. All right. So yeah, have a good day. Appreciate your time.
You too. Thank you for your time.
Bye bye.